Imagine discovering a mysterious message carved into stone. A message that no human has been able to read for over 50 years. Across Egypt, these strange symbols covered temples, tombs, statues, and monuments, silently guarding the secret.
For centuries, nobody knew what these mysterious carvings actually meant. Their true story had been completely forgotten.
Some believed they were magical symbols. Others thought they were secret messages left behind by powerful gods. But the truth was far more extraordinary. These symbols formed one of humanity's greatest writing systems. Their story begins more than 5,000 years ago, when one of history's greatest civilizations was just beginning to rise. The mighty Nile River transformed a harsh desert into fertile land, giving birth to a powerful kingdom unlike any before. As villages became cities, Egypt needed a way to record its growing wealth, people, and history. Kings needed records of taxes, merchants tracked trade, priests documented sacred rituals performed inside magnificent temples. Without writing, managing an empire this large would have been nearly impossible. So the Egyptians created a remarkable system of communication, unlike anything the world had ever seen. Instead of simple letters, they combined pictures, sounds, and ideas into one incredibly sophisticated language. Each tiny carving held meaning, and together they preserved the voice of an entire civilization. The Greeks later called these symbols hieroglyphs, meaning sacred carvings. But the Egyptians had a different name. They believed their writing was literally the words of the gods. According to Egyptian mythology, the god Thoth invented writing and gifted it to humanity. Writing was considered sacred knowledge, reserved for those chosen to preserve Egypt's history forever. Learning hieroglyphs was incredibly difficult, requiring years of dedication, patience, and discipline. Only a small group of educated people mastered this complex language. They were known as scribes. Scribes were among the most respected people in Egyptian society, serving kings, temples, and government officials. Unlike laborers, scribes worked with knowledge instead of physical strength, giving them lives of privilege. Their job was to preserve laws, record victories, collect taxes, and document everyday life. Every important event in ancient Egypt passed through the careful hands of these remarkable writers. Because of their work, thousands of years later, we can still hear the voices of ancient Egypt. But how could pictures become a language? The answer reveals one of the most brilliant writing systems ever created. At first glance, hieroglyphs look like simple drawings of birds, eyes, snakes, and tools carved into stone. But these symbols were not just pictures. They could represent sounds, words, or complete ideas. To understand hieroglyphs, we need to learn the three building blocks of the Egyptian writing system. The first type was called a phonogram, a symbol that represented a specific sound. Think of it like the letters of our alphabet, where one symbol stands for one spoken sound. An owl symbol often represented the sound M, while a reed leaf represented the sound I. By combining these sound symbols, Egyptian scribes could write names, places, and complex spoken words.
The second type was the ideogram, a symbol that represented an entire object or concept.
A picture of the sun could literally mean the sun itself, not just the sound of the word. This allowed Egyptians to communicate ideas directly through images, making their writing visually powerful. The third type was the most clever of all, the determinative. Determinatives were not spoken aloud. They acted as silent clues that explained a word's meaning. Imagine reading the English word bark. It could mean a dog or the outer layer of a tree.
Egyptians solved this confusion by adding a determinative that revealed which meaning the writer intended.
This system was incredibly advanced and helped readers understand complex texts with remarkable accuracy.
Hieroglyphs could also be written in different directions, something that surprises many modern readers. Some texts were read from left to right, while others were read from right to left. The secret was simple. Look at the direction the animals and people are facing. You always read toward their faces, as if the symbols themselves were looking at the beginning of the sentence. Egyptian writing was not only a language, it was also a form of art, designed to impress the viewer. Scribes arranged symbols in neat blocks, balancing beauty and readability at the same time. Egyptian writing was not only a language, it was also a form of art designed to impress the viewer.
Colors were carefully chosen, and many inscriptions were originally painted in brilliant reds, blues, greens, and gold.
What we see today as faded stone was once a vibrant explosion of color and sacred symbolism.
What we see today as faded stone was once a vibrant explosion of color and sacred symbolism. Yet despite their brilliance, the ability to read these symbols would eventually disappear from the world completely.
Generation after generation, scribes carefully preserved this sacred knowledge, ensuring every royal story survived through stone and papyrus. But every great civilization eventually faces change, and ancient Egypt was no exception. For more than 3,000 years, hieroglyphs remained the official language of temples, kings, and sacred ceremonies across Egypt. In 332 BC, Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, beginning a completely new chapter in its history. Greek culture spread quickly, and the Greek language became increasingly important throughout the kingdom. Foreign empires arrived one after another, bringing new rulers, languages, and cultures into the land of the pharaohs. Centuries later, the mighty Roman Empire took control of Egypt, changing the country once again.
As Christianity spread across Egypt, many ancient temples were closed forever.
Although hieroglyphs continued to appear on temples, fewer people still understood their true meaning. The final known hieroglyphic inscription was carved around the year 394 AD.
Then, silence. The ancient language disappeared, leaving behind thousands of unreadable monuments.
Over time, the ability to read hieroglyphs was completely lost, even among the Egyptian people themselves.
For nearly 1,500 years, nobody on Earth could understand the mysterious symbols carved across Egypt. Travelers admired their beauty, but every inscription remained an unsolved mystery.
Some believed the symbols contained magical spells. Others imagined they hid secret knowledge from forgotten gods. The truth remained hidden, until a remarkable discovery changed history forever. The truth remained hidden, until a remarkable discovery changed history forever. While rebuilding an old fort near the town of Rosetta, French soldiers uncovered an unusual stone slab. At first, it looked like just another broken monument buried beneath centuries of desert sand. But scholars quickly noticed something extraordinary, carved across its polished surface. The same message appeared 3 separate times, each written in a completely different script. One section was written in ancient Greek, a language scholars already understood perfectly.
Another section used demotic, the everyday writing system of ancient Egypt during its later history. The final section contained hieroglyphs, providing the missing key that scholars had searched for over centuries. The Rosetta Stone had finally been found, but no one yet knew how to unlock the language hidden inside it. Europe's greatest linguists competed to solve what many believed was history's most difficult puzzle. For years, brilliant minds compared symbols, copied inscriptions, and searched for patterns that made sense. Most scholars believed every hieroglyph represented only an idea, not a spoken sound. That assumption kept the mystery locked for decades, preventing anyone from reading even the simplest inscription. Then, a young French scholar approached the mystery from a completely different direction. His name was Jean-François Champollion, and he had spent his entire life studying ancient languages. By his teenage years, he could already read several ancient languages with remarkable skill. He believed hieroglyphs were far more than pictures. He believed they also represented sounds. To test his theory, he focused on royal names enclosed inside oval shapes called cartouches. He compared the cartouches with Greek names found on the Rosetta Stone and other monuments. One royal name appeared again and again: Ptolemy, the Greek ruler of Egypt. By matching repeated symbols with known letters, Champollion slowly built the ancient Egyptian alphabet. Piece by piece, the impossible puzzle began falling into place after centuries of silence. Then came the moment that changed archaeology forever. He realized he could finally read the language of the ancient Egyptians. Legend says the overwhelming discovery caused him to collapse from pure excitement. In 1822, Champollion officially announced that the mystery of hieroglyphs
had finally been solved.
For the first time in nearly 1,500 years, ancient Egypt could speak again.
Suddenly, historians could read royal decrees, religious texts, military records, and personal letters.
The walls of forgotten temples transformed into pages of history filled with real voices and real stories. Some inscriptions describe legendary pharaohs, while others reveal the everyday lives of ordinary Egyptian families. Hieroglyphs preserved stories of love, trade, medicine, astronomy, religion, and life after death. Many tomb inscriptions were designed to guide the soul safely through the mysterious journey into the afterlife. Archaeologists no longer guessed what monuments meant. They could finally understand the people who built them.
Its streets were filled with wealth, and its harbors welcomed ships from distant lands.
The language once believed to be magical became one of history's greatest archaeological achievements. But hieroglyphs still hold incredible secrets that continue to surprise historians even today.
Even today, archaeologists continue discovering new hieroglyphic inscriptions hidden beneath Egypt's ancient sands. Every newly uncovered wall, statue, or tomb has the potential to rewrite a chapter of ancient history.
The ancient Egyptians believed that a person's name must survive forever, because to erase a name was to erase a life. That is why many pharaohs carved their names across temples, statues, and monuments throughout the kingdom.
It is still perfectly legible. Thousands of years later, those same names can still be read, connecting us directly with the people of ancient Egypt.
Hieroglyphs are far more than beautiful carvings. They are the preserved voices of an entire civilization. Without them, we would know very little about the beliefs, achievements, and daily lives of the ancient Egyptians. Every carved symbol reminds us that knowledge can survive for thousands of years when carefully preserved. The next time you see an Egyptian hieroglyph, remember that you are looking at a real message from the distant past. After thousands of years, these ancient voices still speak to anyone willing to listen. From mysterious symbols carved into stone, perhaps more secrets are waiting to be. Join us for more stories from history.